Welcome to GameStuffed Podcast Episode 3. I'm Josh.
And I'm Will.
And in this episode, I don't know what's going to come up because this is not planned, and so, yeah, here it goes. Let's start off with I had to already kind of get a new part for my computer that I just built recently.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so apparently I'm the king of getting defective parts. Apparently.
That is incredibly true.
So when I was
Started out with your it started out with your power supply.
so when I started to buy parts for my computer, I went with the NZXT power supply, and it ended up just not working out of the box.
Yeah, after I had to get online with a technician about it and go through all that trouble.
Yeah, it wasn't really too much trouble since most of the stuff he said we already kind of knew. Or
Yeah, that's
did.
true.
Um, but anyway, so I had my computer built for a few weeks. However, when me and Will got done building my computer, I forgot to take the original power cord for the power supply back to my apartment. But as it turns out, the cord I had on my old computer, it ended up plugging into the power supply.
Yeah, so not a big deal.
Which, the power supply is still okay, as it was when I got it. the,
Yeah, the cord wasn't the problem.
so when I got back, I eventually picked up the original cord from Will's place, and
Wait, it was about a month later, right?
yeah, we can go with that. Yeah,
And it was working this whole time, mind you.
yeah. So anyways, I got the original cord when I got back that night. I flipped off the power switch to the power supply, unplugged it, took out the cord to my old computer that it was originally on, plugged in the new cord, flipped the power supply back on, and my computer didn't turn on. But throughout that whole day, I never really turned on my computer. So I can't really say if it was at that moment, but I'm pretty sure it was at that moment because,
Of what we found out.
yes, the motherboard I had in my computer, it has a known problem to that specific model, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's actually like a developer issue a maker issue where they messed up in like one of the, I don't know, routes of electricity in it, I guess, something like that. And when you turn off the power supply and turn it back on, it causes it not to want to boot up.
Or unplug it.
Yeah,
So basically, now some fixes is I could have moved around the wires a bunch and keep trying to turn it on, and it would eventually might get to the point where it would turn on. But at that point, I just said to myself that I really shouldn't and don't want to have to deal with having to do that in order to get my computer to work.
yeah.
So I decided. Now, I was a dummy and didn't think about this because I really don't know, but I have the receipt, but I did not have the original box for the motherboard. Otherwise, I could have returned it probably for a refund.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. At the time, I had all these parts and a bunch of boxes that I did not have any room for, but
And the system worked.
yeah, if I guess I would have thought about it now and I would have be able to go back in time, I would have probably like cut out all the barcodes on all the boxes and kept them in one spot.
Yeah,
Or proof of purchase like barcode things is what I mean.
that could have probably helped.
Yeah, but besides that, I had no problem. I did end up at the time, since I had already spent a good chunk of money during my last pickup in order to get the parts for the computer to build it. I really did not want to have to spend more money than what I needed to. So I broke down and I ended up trading in some of my lesser played Wii U games, which I kept the good ones, of course, but I don't know. I got rid of all the Mario games because the best one was 3D World, and I nearly played through all of it, and it just, I don't know. I guess Mario is uh, more of a nostalgia like character for me. Like, none of the games are as good as I remember from the new ones that come out nowadays, it seems like.
I agree with that.
And maybe I'm just blinded pretty much, but with my nostalgia goggles. But at any rate, I had no inspiration to even play the newer Mario titles, even though I had them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got rid of Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter Ultimate 3, or whatever you want to call it. It was already a pretty cheap game that I picked up, and it has a lot of potential. I'll give it that. Just it was a bit too slow for my liking.
Mm.
And probably the bigger regret, I got rid of Hyrule Warriors, which I played through. I think I might have had one more story mission left, but there is no way I was gonna end up playing through the all the extra stuff to level up all the characters and stuff,
Mm.
because the gameplay itself, it was fun, just it in the type of game it has a very repetitive kind of nature to its gameplay.
Yeah.
And
I I hadn't played it, but I can get that from it.
yeah, so I hadn't played any Dynasty Warriors before that, and of course, going through my mind when deciding what I wanted to trade in is I wanted to get my computer back to working because I'm using that more than my Wii U now.
Hmm.
But I kept things like Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros., Wii U, um, the NES Remix Pack because, like I said, I love my nostalgia games. And I even kept a Captain Toad treasure tractor. I also got rid of, oh, I also kept Bayonetta 2 because I've been wanting to play through that game at some point. But,
Yeah.
oh, I got rid of, the Wonderful 101.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, honestly, I have no good excuse for why I did it. The game just at the time did not seem to appeal to me. Even when I bought it, it didn't really grasp me much, but it was just a $25 new game, so I got it anyways.
Hmm.
Kind of an impulse buy.
Yeah.
But all of this was just to get some spare money, so I didn't lose as much for buying a new motherboard.
Which you got for a pretty good deal as well.
Yeah. If you have a micro center near any of you, they have a lot of
Re-
pretty good deals for computer parts.
yeah, a lot of really good deals.
Like this, the new motherboard I got was a Gigabyte um, Gaming 7 motherboard. I
Yeah.
guess it was a Z97 Gaming 7 motherboard. So I guess it's I think there was a Gaming 5 and a Gaming 3 motherboards.
Something like that, yeah.
It's basically the same type of like each update to the series adds just something a little bit more, I guess. Kind of like with the ASRock's Extreme 4, Extreme whatever. Which, speaking of which, I have no clue if this defective Extreme 4 ASRock Z97 motherboard. I don't know if that carries on into the other Extreme motherboards.
You know, I don't know either. Um, so the other people, it took me forever to diagnose this, like with what the problems were. It took forever. And I had found people who had the same problem and said it was like the LDO regulator, is what they said. So, I mean, could be, could go on into the next series of boards. Either way, reading into it and talking with some people, I've heard that ASRock is kind of shoddy sometimes. And to basically always stick with either Asus or Gigabyte.
Really? Yeah. That's what I heard about sticking with Asus or Gigabyte, which I heard from a lot of videos, but mainly I hear it a lot from Kerry Holzman. He does videos on YouTube of not repairing, but building computers, and he always uses either Asus or Gigabyte motherboard because he picks out the most best brand that has less faulty problems, so he does not have to deal with serving these computers again because he's actually the computers he builds, he actually people are paying him to build him a computer, so he wants to make the very best.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that hopefully everything should be all fine and dandy now.
I'm sure it is now. After we took apart, we pretty much the day after the problem, he went and bought the new board, brought it here. We took it apart, cleaned all the thermal paste, put it all back together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it also only took about an hour and a half, which was way faster than the 5 hours it took to actually build it the first time around.
Yeah. Part of that was not really knowing. I I know how to build a computer. I just never had done it before.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm sure that's what took probably the most time in that build.
But yeah, so Let's see. Anything you
Your
want to
computer's
add to the whole computer thing?
uh not really, other than cleaning thermal paste off of a processor is kind of nerve-wracking, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, your computer's running. It's doing good. The internet didn't work for like a day till you got home to put
Well,
the disk in.
well, yeah, that's just normal driver stuff. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, into some video game news.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say,
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say while you were on the topic of Nintendo, I don't know if you knew about this or not.
oh, wait, I came across something that I read, but I don't know if it's for sure. Does this news involve Nintendo and PC?
No.
Oh, okay.
Close. Not quite, but close. So it was kind of rumored before, right?
Okay.
Of Nintendo going mobile.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
With DNA,
Yeah.
which is a um, Japanese uh, app company, but Nintendo is partnered with this company to make mobile games based off of their properties,
Yeah.
but they're all going to be new games, not like retailored games. Which is interesting because I guess like DNA um, had like said that they were not going to do that because of the reputations fans have for the types of games by Nintendo, that they weren't going to try to repackage older games.
Yeah.
But that's kind of funny since uh, they had all the influx of older games coming onto the Nintendo or the like the Wii and Wii U.
Yeah. Um, I think this is kind of the news I heard, but it was more of a speculation on a message board I read where Nintendo could potentially release their games on PC, I guess, once they go through this
Ah,
or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was,
huh,
but it was more of a speculation message board post.
gotcha. Yeah, I haven't heard about PC, but I know this was pretty recent with the mobile games.
Yeah. Sadly, that has nothing to do with that. I could care either way because I don't have a smartphone or tablet.
Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to say about it. Um, I guess they had said, and I'm not sure where they said this, but they said it would be free to play games,
uh,
which means pay to win is what a lot of people think of.
of course.
Well, yeah, can't have it any other way nowadays.
So I'm glad you started with Nintendo because I was just gonna go ahead and probably as people know already, um, well, let me just start by saying I received a CD in the mail from Club Nintendo from back when I was one of the people that was able to register a 3DS Super Smash Bros. Code and a Wii U Smash Bros. Code. And then So I just recently received my soundtrack CD. And in kind of a mini review, which it it comes with two discs, 36 songs on each disc. Um, you have a red disc, which was more for the 3DS soundtrack, or more, probably more. Well, yeah. I guess I was trying to say like the 3DS was more mobile or like gosh dang.
Handheld
Yeah, handheld.
type.
Yeah, there we go. I couldn't think
Yeah,
of
it
the
was.
word.
Yeah, the songs were more from like handheld games.
And then the blue disc is songs from like the console Wii U game,
Yeah,
which comes in it comes in just a regular thin CD case, but with a flip holder.
yeah, and uh, just the names of like the songs in the booklet.
It and with the booklet itself, when you first open it, it has a like a small little message or letter to everyone that bought it from the director of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Then when you fold it out even further, it has a complete song list.
and we ended up listening through all the songs.
Yeah, some of them we didn't know. Like when it came to like Fire Emblem, I've never played that type of game. Neither has Will, I don't think. So
Yeah.
that was kind of oblivious. Though that doesn't mean we didn't think some of the songs were catchy.
Oh no, they were awesome. What was the one? What was from what game was it?
Yeah,
Blade?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Okay, those songs were awesome.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
them are the ones that had kind of a kind of rock bass mixed with
yeah,
orchestra.
and they were they were pretty awesome. Like I would listen to those like normally. Although most of like some of them I would listen to like pretty normally too. Like I don't know, Donkey Kong Country was pretty good. I honestly liked the Pac-Man remix.
Yeah, club mix.
Yeah, the club mix.
Duck
That was
Hunt
just
melody.
that was interesting.
Yeah, at first
That
we
was a good
wasn't
one.
too sure, but then they had the laughing dog at the end and we were sold.
Yeah, oh that just that tied it all together. The I actually in the middle of the song, do you remember me saying the dog laugh better be like the end of the song?
Well, that's because I brought it up, I think.
Well, you said where's the dog, and I was
Yeah,
like the dog laugh better be the end of the song.
like about halfway through is when we actually started to like the song because we wasn't too sure about the first part.
Yeah,
The opening kind of sounded like Duck Hunt, but in between that and the middle of the song was kind of different. But then
yeah,
it got into where it sounded more, I guess, 8-bitish, you could say.
it sounded more like the game. Like the beginning was kind of like where's the duck hunt? And then it actually started to incorporate like duck hunt sounds, and that's when it got good.
Funny enough, I didn't really care for the Super Mario music.
Me either. Not. I don't know. Wait, was there any Super Mario music on the Wii U one?
Yeah, it was it was a mix of music like the Super Mario Brothers melody.
Oh, okay. That one wasn't that bad. I mean, it was just Mario, but I didn't care for the ones on the 3DS one.
Yeah.
The 3DS disc, like there was two, and I didn't care for those ones.
I really like the Mute City version 3 is what is on
Oh
the
yeah,
disc, but
that was good.
I just like that song I just like that kind of melody anyways.
Hmm.
I really like the Punch Out Jogging Countdown, which I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't more Punch Out music, but that's alright.
At least that was included.
Yeah. Honestly, overall, I'm not disappointed with it.
No, it was
Like,
a
like I might not like every song, but you get there's a lot of stuff on here for being free, pretty much.
yeah. It was a really good listen.
Yeah. The only thing I will say is that as someone else, because I watched a review for it as well, pointed out, they have Sega and Capcom in the copyright on the back of the disc, but they don't use any of their songs, so it's probably just for the fact that they're in the game.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing.
And they did, like, they have Pac-Man songs and Namco copyright,
Hmm.
but I guess Namco is a little bit easier to get a hold of than what Sega and Capcom would make Nintendo go through to get their content, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. The Tetris theme.
Oh yeah.
That is one of my favorite themes of all time anyway. So,
Yeah.
that was pretty epic.
But that was really awesome.
Yeah, it's actually a really good listen. I'm sure it's already on YouTube.
Well, I mean, people already have had like the entire soundtrack to like Super Smash Brothers. That's how I found it for background music for our Super Smash Brothers video.
Ah,
So if people have the game soundtrack already on YouTube, then yeah, it's already on YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
This seems like a really good spot to actually jump into what we think about the Wii U, but I don't.
Yeah. Oh, and like kind of rumored news or whatever.
Yeah.
From one of the shows that I watched, they said someone from Nintendo. I don't remember who they said it was, but said Nintendo's working on a new console.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, to we'll hear more info in like a year or within a year.
well, yeah, someone I watched, this was about a couple months back. Like, it was hinted at Nintendo was working on a new project, but
Yeah,
nothing was revealed past just they were working on something.
pretty much. Yeah. Code
I
name NX.
I really hope that nothing gets released on it for at least a year and a half to 2 more years, though.
For it
Like, as
to,
far as
yeah.
an official announcement of it.
Hmm.
But, then again, how many years are we in this generation of gaming? I mean, we're about, what, 3, 4 years in?
Of the Xbox One and PS4?
The Wii U, because the Xbox
Uh,
One and the PS4 came after.
when did the Wii U come out?
Real quick. Yeah. You might hear
Yeah,
you might hear typing in the background.
bah, who cares? So 2012, huh? So yeah,
It wasn't two.
three
Wait, 2000.
2012, November
So it's
2012.
going on 3 years.
It is.
Hmm. Yeah. So I really hope they wait at least 2 more years because Not
Yeah.
because not for the fact that I would love Nintendo to really turn the things around and release a whole console that would live up to what
Current gen is doing.
or even past it, but knowing Nintendo, it doesn't seem
Y-
like they would do that.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I don't know. It's almost sad to me that what Nintendo really needs is third party developers, and they just are not catering to them at all.
oh boy. Yeah, you want to know what's even the sadder thing?
What's
I
that?
think the Wii U is the better console of the three that are out.
Oh, yeah. I agree too. Honestly, without third party developers, like it had more games that I wanted to play.
Yes, of course, in our opinion, that we wanted to play.
Yeah, because I, for one, don't care about the new Call of Duty.
Um,
I don't.
I guess my problem is just I don't feel that a lot of games are that it doesn't seem I guess I'm all right, let me choose my words here. I guess most of the games nowadays are more I guess cinematic focused than just simple gameplay focused.
hmm
Now, don't get me wrong, I love cinematics. I love the Telltale games. But when it comes to just regular games, maybe I miss. Now I'm gonna come off sounding kind of bad, like saying that games nowadays don't have skill or skill like things that for players to adapt to.
Mm,
But
kind
I
of.
know that's the wrong wording. I know because I know games take skill, especially first-person shooters. But I guess I'm trying to say,
They don't have
okay,
challenge.
like maybe it even has to do with replay value a little bit, but I don't know. Or maybe it's just because I don't play games as much, but it feels really good because even if I go back and play an older game that I played a lot as a kid and knew really well, platforming for instance, you always know at the right time when to press that button when you want to jump. Like
Yeah.
every time you go back and replay an older game, you'll always end up playing it the same way. Like you know automatically off the top of your head where to start to jump at.
hmm
And it's like just something you develop just from playing it. It's your own unique way of playing through each game. And now I'm pretty sure I'm getting sidetracked of what I was trying to say, but oh well. I guess let's just say plain simple. Newer games nowadays, I don't get as much enjoyment from.
There you go. That me too. I don't know what it is, but I rather have. What? Okay. Newer games seem to focus heavily on like multiplayer,
Yes.
and I multiplayer is fine if you're on a couch with the people. that's when you get the most fun. That's when multiplayer is like the most fun.
Yeah.
When you're in the same room, I don't even care if it's a single player game and you're passing the controller. That's more fun than online to me. It always will be.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of in the same boat because online, I really don't have a lot of people that I play games with. Like, most of the people I play games with online is people I know in real life.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, I mean,
Okay,
let
playing an online game is fun, but when you came over and we put your computer back together and we hooked up Bomberman 64 and me, you, and my girlfriend Katie played, that was fun.
yeah.
That was a lot of fun. There's yelling, there's like celebration, there's a lot of good time to be had when you're with the people.
Gosh, Bomberman 64. Oh gosh, all game collectors, go pick that game up.
It is, yeah,
It's not that expensive. I mean,
you know, it's one of those games that when you just feel like you want to play a game, just put in Bomberman 64.
yeah.
Yeah.
Computers are kind of dumb and easy to beat even on their hardest difficulty.
Yes. They're not good teammates.
But in all reality, if you have four people, or you and three other people to play with, it's a blast. It is honestly a freaking blast.
Oh yeah.
Because it's because it's simple, I guess.
Yeah, probably. It's not hard at all. Like it's not hard to get the controls and
Yeah,
to almost instantly know what you're doing.
and I may have touched the single player when I had it as a little when I first played it, but I got to the boss of the first level and then just I don't know. I couldn't beat it, and most of my time spent in multiplayer on that game.
Which is a blast.
I mean,
But that feeling of is just well, it's just so much better to me. I don't know what it is.
human interaction.
Yeah, probably.
There's also the satisfying of turning on a console.
Yeah, holding like a controller wired in. I don't know. It's just a good time.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, Bomberman 64 is one of my top multiplayer games. If I had to, if I had any kind of a list, it would be on there somewhere, along
Top
with the Super
multiplayer
Smash
games.
Brothers series.
Yeah, that one's. I agree.
So, I guess it comes down to, I guess Nintendo games appeal to certain people.
Yeah, you know,
And
and
in that way, I don't think Nintendo will ever be back on top.
no,
At least not by their not not on their own anyways.
like they had a really good, just like barrage of games for the Wii U. They really did.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know a lot of people who are still looking forward to the new Zelda when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah, I mean, people who don't even own like a Wii U are thinking like, man, that's gonna be a good game, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what it was with the new Super Smash Brothers. Like people who had bought an Xbox One or a PS4. Like I was talking to people who had, and even people who don't like the Wii U kind of wanted to buy it because they were kind of excited for the new Smash Brothers. You know,
Yeah.
like Nintendo really hit home with a lot of these games. It's just their system is killing it, and the way that they're selling it is killing it. You know,
Yeah.
they could have done so much better if they just laid the foundation better.
Yeah, something that might help, um, maybe release a version of the console that doesn't have the gamepad, just a pro
Yeah,
controller.
yeah, that's the other thing is they're, they're just too gimmicky.
Yeah.
They're just why do they always have to try something gimmicky? I know that you want to make the people healthier. I know you want to get them up and moving instead of sitting on the couch, but
They've always been kind of gimmicky though. I mean, let's take a look. Regular Nintendo, well, it's just the regular Nintendo. I mean, it beat whatever Atari had. Then we,
pretty easily. Come on.
then we moved to Super Nintendo, which honestly they weren't really gimmicky with the Super Nintendo. It was
No,
it was honestly just a upgrade, pretty much.
that was like everyone's hardcore system.
Yeah.
Like the Super Nintendo was where it was at.
Then we moved from the Super Nintendo to the Virtual
Uh,
Boy.
well, yeah.
And wow, Nintendo. That's got to be something they probably keep at the top of their list of what not to do ever again, you would think.
Well, see, Nintendo was really hitting home with, the Nintendo Entertainment System was like everyone's. That was the home premiere console.
Yeah.
The Game Boy was like every kid's dream and
Oh
like
man, I
teenage.
forgot the handhelds, but I
Yeah,
wasn't a handheld person.
no, but That's like still one of the best-selling consoles of all
Yes,
time.
that is true. That thing went from like 1990 all the way to like 2000 or something before they discontinued it or something like that.
Something like that. It was crazy. And then from that, I mean, they had the Super Nintendo, which was killing it. No one could compete with that. No one could compete with the Game Boy. And then, they throw something out there like the Virtual Boy that just flopped.
Seriously, it flopped like it only has like 13 games for it flopped.
Oh, yeah. Like, the thing was, it costed so much.
Yeah.
And, what, 15 minutes before you had to take a break?
Yeah. And that probably kind of leads into, well, I guess we can't say Nintendo doesn't throw a lot of money into when making their consoles because well, I'll get to that in a second, but going from the Virtual Boy to the Nintendo 64,
Which,
gimmicky. They started their gimmicky with that one kind of because they was the first to have like an analog stick,
yeah.
I think, right?
Analog, no.
No, the Yeah, because then PlayStation implemented the analog sticks to their controllers after the Nintendo 64 came out,
Hmm.
I think.
I I'm not quite sure
Because
on
the
that one.
original PlayStation controllers never had the analog sticks.
Yeah, yeah. They weren't like DualShock or whatever they
Yeah.
called that. Hmm.
But then, wait, going from the N64 to the GameCube, this they actually could have done right, but what happened was they didn't have the third party support at the time. The
Mm-hmm.
when the PS2, I mean the PS2 was rocking that generation, so pretty much the GameCube was actually more power than the Xbox or PlayStation 2 actually.
Yeah, it was. But then again, they're gimmicky with the discs.
I mm, I
The
wouldn't really
that's
say that's a gimmicky, just more of a bad choice.
I consider that gimmicky just because no one had done that. I considered them just trying to be different, you know?
I don't think it's different enough to be considered gimmicky though, but that's just me.
Yeah. Either way,
I was about ready
this
to say that the GameCube was just pretty much another upgrade console, which,
yeah, I gotta say, like, I loved the GameCube.
yeah,
Like, like, I I had so many games for the GameCube, and I played it like crazy. But um, that's when they really started losing like third party. They started losing third party at the N64 because they were still using cartridges and discs were more prevalent.
yeah,
Uh, Costed more to make a cartridge, so they started losing it there. And then it is honestly harder to code for to make a smaller disc.
yeah, I would imagine because, well, it's not that it's harder, it's just different, so they have to do a new tactic when coding for it than they would with just a regular disc for the Xbox or PS2.
Yeah, and that made a lot of developers like, all right, you know, I'll just code it for either the Xbox or PlayStation and then just port it to the other one. I'm just not going to worry about the GameCube.
Right.
So that's another one of their flops is just they lost it, you know? They lost the grasp on what they needed. They
Uh-huh.
had all the third party support for, you know, Nintendo Entertainment System and Super Nintendo. They were rocking it.
N64, yeah. Nintendo just has a thing with keeping with the times, and they don't do it. um,
That's like the truest statement.
um,
Nintendo has a thing with keeping up with the times. They don't do it.
then we go from the GameCube to. I'm not mentioning the handhelds. Well, I guess I should. D- well,
In the
this might
meantime,
have came out before the GameCube, but let's start. They then had their little DS.
well, they had the Game Boy Color first,
Well,
and that
I
did pretty
I'm
well.
just trying to go for the more gimmicky stuff, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact timeline of all their consoles.
Wait. You want to talk about gimmicky, right?
Oh,
Then you probably should talk about
okay,
the
they
Game Boy Color
okay,
and Game Boy Advance.
yeah, but the
Because
Game
Game
Boy
Boy,
Advance was just a Super Nintendo. It wasn't really gimmicky.
well, no, but it essentially wasn't to begin with, and then
Then
they
they
started
made
releasing.
then they made stuff like the SP mic or did I say I just mixed two of them up. The Game Boy Micro and the Game Boy SP
SP,
or Game Boy Advanced SP. I don't
SP.
remember what it was exactly for, but they just kept on adding on different variations of the same console.
Yeah, exactly. That's when they started really doing that. And then they brought in the DS, which was like new and awesome.
Yeah, it started out really slow, though. I don't think it started as big as it is. Well, of course, it didn't start as big as it is now. They started off slow because I guess in a sense it was something new and different and people weren't sure about it.
Yeah.
But man, they got support for it somehow. Like,
Oh, I'll be honest. I was one of the ones who was pretty excited for the DS.
yeah.
When I saw it, like I kept up to date on their website with it when I had seen it, and I got one of the very first versions, which ended up being sold to you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was pretty excited for it. And the thing with the DS is it's not good in an American market. It's not really good in an American market kind of at all
Hmm.
because it's mostly based on connectivity.
Yeah.
And the thing with the DS was you could like chat with people, you could like play games, you could send messages, but you had to be in close contact with them or on the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And that was hard to do, but in Japan that's easy. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's honestly why it's so big in Japan is just cuz like that's people's like phones in Japan.
So why do you think it took off compared to the past? Well, compared to being the fact that it was ultra gimmicky with the two screens.
Uh
Do you think they
I
just got lucky?
hmm maybe. I don't know. I when I saw it
But then
the two
again,
screen
it probably took off because Nintendo was already rocking the handheld market as it is.
that's what I'm thinking. Like they already had like a pretty dedicated handheld base. And yeah.
Yeah, pretty much no one can compete with Nintendo now in the handheld.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but then we move on to the Wii,
Which
their
is
next big console after the GameCube.
and it honestly did pretty well.
Yeah, a lot of people bought it. Not
Oh yeah.
not gamers, but a lot of people bought it.
Oh yeah.
I hated the Wii.
Me too. I do not like the Wii. It's probably okay. I'll say I had a Virtual Boy, and honestly, I don't like the Wii. Like, I would probably choose a Virtual Boy because I guess it's so different. The Wii just isn't fun. The Wii, the only thing that was fun on the Wii was either tennis or bowling, and you had to have two people and space big enough to play it.
Yeah,
Other,
I probably played bowling more than any other game,
it,
even Smash Brothers Brawl.
well, that was a whole different thing.
Not a terrible game, just not my preferred game in the series.
Yeah, just had its own problems. We'll just call it problems.
But of course, they was being really gimmicky with the whole motion controls and stuff.
Oh, that's what they were mainly selling it on.
And now, then they went to the Wii U, pretty much, and then they
Which,
they try they noticed they're kind of. I'm pretty sure that they noticed something was wrong, that motion control was not catching on as much as they had hoped. So they kind of went backwards in that way, but being Nintendo, they had to find another way to change gaming besides having traditional controller.
also in Nintendo fashion, right? Right?
Yeah.
Of of okay, Nintendo lost a lot. I don't know how good they were in marketing before, but they're not so great now.
Yeah, the advertising kind of sucked for the Wii U.
Oh, it's so much so that you know how many people I talked to that said, "Oh, yeah, that add-on for the
Yes.
Wii." That was general consensus was, "Oh, the add-on for the Wii." No, no, it's its own console. Are you sure?
Y-
It has Wii in the name.
yeah, really. Like if I had not have looked up, if I went in blind, like I thought it was a. That's what I thought it was when I first heard about it or saw something on it.
Me too. I didn't even see the actual like
Console?
console
Yeah.
part till it was like released.
Yeah.
All I saw was the gamepad.
Now, to the credit, the gamepad is not bad. In fact, I kinda actually like it.
No,
But, mm,
to its credit in general, the Wii U is a pretty good console.
yeah.
It could be better, could be a lot better, but it's Nintendo's best current console. Like, it's their best newer attempt at a console.
Most of Nintendo's problems don't have to do with has to do with just um how they portray themselves in
Mm-hmm.
a way. It's just you think okay, so pretty much they're not really making any profit at all on the Wii U. In fact, I
Yeah,
think they're losing money on it.
probably.
So Nintendo's going to be making another console, or say they have.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say if it was going to be another handheld or actual console. But let's just assume for a second that they're talking about an actual console.
I, I believe they are. But yeah, we don't know.
So, you think if Nintendo actually tried to join the big, powerful machine war that's going on now, excluding the PC, of course, but so if they try to spend all this money making a console that's superior to the Xbox One and the PS4, or heck, even they should, if they do it, they should probably think about not just making it superior, but to the point where it can go into if there's going to be a ninth generation of consoles, but be able to go into that steadily too.
Mm-hmm.
Would they be foolish to put all that money into a powerful machine?
Right now, yes. Right, right now, yes, because of the support.
Yeah.
They do
But
not have a dedicated enough fan base to trust in a new console like that.
yeah, unless they get their marketing skills and advertising skills up.
And don't name it a variation of the Wii. Yes, if they actually market it right, give us a standardized controller, regular discs, make it powerful, make your games for it.
Have the launch title of like the GameCube had. They had like Super Smash Bros. Melee as a launch title, I think, but I think I already mentioned that once.
Yeah, I mean,
If
actually get it together and make a proper console.
we're gonna get so much hate for not calling the Wii U a proper console,
Whatever.
and I did air quotations, but you guys didn't see that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I consider a proper console that's marketed right.
Then
And
again, if Nintendo made a big powerful system, they might end up like the PlayStation 3 and not be bought for the first 2 years until they lower the price.
yeah,
Because that's what happened with Sony. They was so confident they was rolling the PS2 like nobody could touch them. It's like the best selling console ever.
yeah, exactly.
And so they think, hmm, well, we're right in we're in first place and all that. So a lot of people are going to be wanting something new and they'll buy up whatever we throw out. So let's make a ultimate beast. Let's have it play PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games. Put in a or yeah, put in a Blu-ray player. Just put everything you can into this. Sell it at a really high price and watch the millions of consoles sell. And that's not what ended up happening for the PS3.
Nope.
People didn't want to pay $600 for a console.
No. PS3 came after Xbox 360, right?
Yeah.
They probably saw everyone paying $600 for the Xbox 360.
The Xbox 360 was only $499.
When it was first launched,
Yeah.
and that didn't include a power brick, and that didn't include memory. That was just like
No,
core.
the one
No,
without memory was $399. The
whatever.
most was it was mostly 500.
Either way, I watched it selling. Like I watched it on uh release day
Yeah.
where it didn't come with like a power brick or controllers, and then you still had to buy games.
Yeah.
People were paying $800. They were paying, $900 for more games.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say that will actually help Nintendo, quite honestly.
No.
All I can
Good.
say is I like their games, but console-wise, I just don't know.
Mm-mm. They just need to keep making good games. That's like step one.
Well, they pretty much got step one down, other than the
Well,
fact that their game stories aren't really that detailed.
yeah,
But that
it's
but that might be kind of the beauty of their games.
maybe. It's just, they're not going to be able to fix it in like one generation. It's just not going to happen. They need to keep making good games and start showing people that they can, um, I guess, can live up to current, with air quotes, current gen, because I know they're current gen. They don't feel like it.
Well, soon Nintendo might not have to worry much if they come out with another console. Because from what I hear, I think Sony's thinking more about making like a Steam box as their next thing than
You
another
know,
console, and I'm not sure if Microsoft is going to go make another console.
yeah,
I mean, they're
Microsoft,
pretty much turned the Xbox One into a smaller version of a computer.
yeah. The only thing I can really see Microsoft like doing is kind of taking the Steam approach and trying to make Xbox Live like into its, and they even said Xbox was going to be integrated into Windows 10.
Yeah,
So they're probably just going to try to integrate and make their own sort of PC store.
yeah,
I see Microsoft going in that direction, then creating a new console, and then maybe focusing on like a box to run theirs, you know,
yeah,
like a PC kind of box to run their own version.
yeah.
But yeah,
Wouldn't that be kind of funny if Nintendo somehow miraculously gets back on top with this next console because third parties wouldn't have anywhere else to go?
that would be so awesome.
It's like Nintendo toughed it out for just long enough to where they're the last one standing.
Pretty much, yeah. Just so, what console are you gonna buy? Well, the only one that's out.
Wow.
That would be amazing. I would commend them for that because I honestly they're still in the game. You know, they're still making pretty great games. They still have a console that people do play.
It,
They have a fan base.
yeah, true.
So they're still a part of it, you know?
Hmm.
They're not a competitor.
Yeah. So what have you been doing?
Um, well, honestly haven't been playing much games this week.
Yeah, me neither. Although I did start recording Dreamfall chapters. Haven't got up a video yet, but I need to edit that.
Nice. How was it?
Well, I only got a chance to play as far as when I stopped the first time I played it. Like,
Hmm.
I played it once before I decided to record it, which was before our last podcast, I think. And then after I got to that point, I decided, well, I'm going to record this. So, yeah, when I recorded, I got back to that spot.
I see.
But who knows? I feel like recording something tonight other than this, but I don't know what it's going to be yet.
I see. Yeah, I haven't. I would like to do more recordings, and there's games that I want to play, you know?
Yeah.
But, uh, I have been. I hate my job. I. I sadly work at McDonald's as a maintenance guy, and I hate my job.
Uh,
So, all I've done this week, working towards getting away from my job, and that means enrolling into a certificate school, and I'm going to go get my IT certificates. So that's what I've been doing, and that's probably why I'm probably going to start getting like pretty busy,
yeah.
and there's going to be probably less content, even less than what there already is from me.
eh, I mean, at the rate we're going now, probably it's probably gonna feel about the same content.
Yeah, probably.
But that's really cool. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you won't always be busy.
No, shouldn't be. But
Like, I would still think we'd be able to get together and do this.
oh yeah, I'm sure I'll have time to still do this. But it's just, if you're looking for a job and you see that there's an opening for a maintenance position at McDonald's, just do not take it. I warn you, do not take it.
Duly noted.
that's that's my helpful tip of the day because it eats at your life.
I've pretty much been working all week, pretty much, as always.
And talking about, speaking of things that eat at your life, how's your two jobs going?
Hey, I don't fully hate my two jobs, though.
That's true, yeah.
Although my first one is starting to be quite irritating.
Hmm.
My jobs are nothing fantastic. I'm a dishwasher at Bob Evans, and I'm a courtesy clerk at Kroger's for part-time. So yeah, I
We're living the dream.
I work about 70 hours a week for money that's not for more
For
time than what it is worth of money.
That's true.
But you know what?
It got you a fancy new computer.
Honestly, I just look at it like, I don't know. Right now, I'm feeling pretty happy.
Mm.
Despite other little things happening, I'm still pretty I guess. I don't know. I'm not worried about anything, I guess.
Yeah.
But, so, finally all my shows started to come back on this last week.
All your shows. What shows are those?
Pretty much everything on the CW.
Wait, Supernatural back on?
Tonight,
Oh, that's fantastic.
you're going to be asleep by the time it goes on the website, but
But when I get home from work tomorrow, man.
but yeah. So I pretty much watched Supernatural, The
I'm
Flash,
I'm in the Supernatural boat.
The 100,
I'm in that boat too, but I haven't seen the second season.
um, and so last night was the premiere of a show called iZombie.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Honestly, it's not too bad. You ever seen Veronica Mars?
I never actually watched an episode of Veronica Mars. I
Okay.
remember it, but I've never actually watched it.
So, iZombie. Let me start by saying I do really hate realistic, like, detective cop shows.
Hmm.
They really bore me in a way. This is a pretty much a detective show at heart, but it has a supernatural element to it.
A kind of obvious one.
Well, and to be honest, I really enjoyed the characters. I never read
Hmm.
the comic books. I've never read the comic book series of it, but I gotta say, the characters weren't really that boring.
Hmm.
I mean, okay, pretty much. Okay, first like 3 minutes of the first episode shows the main character, um, and how she was in her life before she got turned into a zombie.
Hmm.
And pretty much if the show was centered around that character, I think I would have found it boring, kind of.
Hmm.
Just in the fact that it reminded me too much of just I don't know, I guess real life people.
I
She was
see.
basically an overachiever type.
Hmm.
So she had a so after she worked at a hospital as a I want to say nurse maybe or
Hmm.
something like that. But anyways, after she got done there, one of her coworkers that she thought that hated her invited her to go on this like a boat, but it's like a yacht boat kind of thing, or not a yacht boat, but just go on a go to a party on this boat, pretty much.
Hmm.
And so she wasn't gonna go. She had a date with her fiance, but her fiance told her to go ahead and go to the party since she's never really done that before, so
Ah, I see.
this is all within just the first 3 minutes. Then, out of nowhere, it cuts to a scene on the boat. It's almost kind of comedy like the way it cuts to it, but you cut to a scene where everybody's running wild on this boat because they're all zombies, and that's how they show. And then it cuts after about a minute, about a 30-second to a minute scene, and that part, it then cut to her unzipping and setting up out of a body bag. And then one of the what are the guys called that put like dead bodies in body bags and um a
Hmm.
coroner? Wait,
Yeah.
is that right?
Hmm.
Well, anyways, the guy that was a coroner, yeah, he was kind of spooked to say the least. When she set up, you see the scratch on her arms, and that's pretty much how she turned into a zombie. So it pretty much shows her transformation within the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Hmm.
And then it cuts to like 5 months later. She's not like the person she originally was acting as, like in the very beginning of the show. She's very depressed. She very keeps to herself now. No one knows that she's a zombie, even though her skin is very pale and her hair is all white, like it's dead.
Uh-huh.
Nobody knows she's a zombie though. Like, but anyways,
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the concept of it didn't grasp me,
well,
but
I'm explaining it more poorly than what it
yeah.
is. It really is pretty good. I mean, the characters are spot on. It's not a straight up drama, but it's not straight up serious either. It's kind of a
Hmm.
comedy. I
I
I
see.
would say give the first episode a watch. You at worst, if worst comes to worst, you wasted 40 minutes of your life.
Yeah, I'll probably check it
It's
out.
it's a, it's the first episode, and yeah, me it kind of convinced me already. I mean, if episodes are as good as the first one, I may end up buying it on DVD when it comes out.
Oh, nice. Hmm.
Just because I want to see, hopefully, we'll want to see it evolve into another season.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
But yeah. Oh, the Flash episode was really good too.
I haven't watched The Flash, but yeah. My shows are going good. My show, I should say.
The only one you follow?
Pretty much. And so I am like the biggest like Breaking Bad fan.
Yeah.
That was like the best show. And I was not looking forward to Better Call Saul because I didn't think the character would do good with having a show.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was going to be a prequel, that just it was the concept was killing it, but Better Call Saul is so far amazing.
That's good.
Yeah, so far it is exactly what you'd expect from a Breaking Bad show or anything done by Vince Gilligan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going good. And Supernatural's come back on, so that's my second show, and yeah, I'll have to check out that iZombie. Uh, honestly, been watching the Agents of Shield.
See, now that doesn't grasp me at all.
The first like 5 episodes didn't. Me and Katie had watched it, and the first 5 episodes, nope. But now it's like okay.
Can I
It's
can I speak freely?
yeah.
If it takes 5 episodes, if it takes at least 5 episodes to get into a show, that's probably too much effort.
Probably. I agree. And it's not even like that I'm getting into it. It's just like, it's okay.
Oh,
But, yeah, that's pretty much it of what I've been watching.
yeah.
Other than that, all I've been doing is learning Linux commands. Woo! For Linux, you know?
Yeah.
Woo! Boring on my end.
Wow. So, it's kind of sad that there is no games coming out that I recall that I really want to get at the moment. Like, that are just right around the corner.
You know what I want to get?
What?
After watching, I watch the Yogscast Sips. He's probably like one of my favorites that I watch play games.
Yeah.
He has been playing City Skylines.
Oh, yeah.
I actually want to get that.
I haven't looked into it at all.
Well, it's like everything SimCity should have been.
You mean if EA broke it?
Oh yeah, and SimCity had like crap features, you know. Like you were confined to the really small area of your city.
Yeah.
And the some of the workings of your city were like horribly broken. Like traffic was like horribly broken, and it never got fixed.
Ah.
Yeah, and then like the whole online thing, playing your single player game, taking 12 hours to log into your single player game because you had to log on online and they didn't have enough servers. Yeah, that sucked. And then they just like patched it like a year later.
Yeah.
No. City Skylines is actually like really good. It's like I don't get into city builders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've never really I've never really wanted to play a city builder. And when I did, I didn't really get into it, but this game honestly really makes me want to play it. Yeah. So that's pretty much all that I even would say.
Yeah.
But everything else, I don't see any good deals or like things coming out.
Mewtwo DLC for Super Smash Brothers will be coming to me some point.
Ooh.
It probably won't be for a couple months now, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Same thing with the second DLC for Mario Kart 8.
Oh, really?
I have that pre-bought as well.
Ah. Well then.
Yeah, so trying to trying to think of something to go out of this podcast with.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a kind of a slow week, and I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. we we had our big Nintendo discussion, and I think that's about all that happened this week.
So nothing happened. That's just dandy.
Yep, yep. Hey, we got a good session of Bomberman 64.
Right.
That's what happened this week, and that's the best. End it on a game that came out for the N64, and I don't know. When did it come out?
Well, the N64 came out in 1996.
Hey, end it with a great game from 1997.
There were
That,
several great games in 1997.
that's why I said a great game. Honestly, I've played more Bomberman 64 in the last week than I have anything else.
Which is kind of sad because that was only like 40 minutes.
Yeah. So,
We need to hack our way to. We need to hack our way to. Well, I guess technically with the emulator we could somehow maybe find somebody that patched the game to work to be able to play it online.
maybe.
I don't know. That might be just a bit out of reach.
Could be. Do you remember that, like, massive Bomberman server?
I don't know
That
what
was.
you're talking about.
I think it was you who showed me. It was like Bomberman Online. And
Uh,
it was on, no, it wasn't Bomberman Online. That was, Dreamcast game. It was, Bomberman. It was an internet game.
Are you sure it was Bomberman?
It was like a Bomberman clone, I think. But it was like massive, like 500 people on at once.
Hmm. Can't say I recall what you're though.
You, come on, you know it.
Um, they made an unofficial Pokemon MMO.
No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it.
I've been known to play Super Mario Kart online with someone at a server someone made a server and used the emulator, and I was able to play Super Mario Kart with some people. Kind of like how I played Super Mario Brothers with you that one time across computers,
Yeah,
and then we could never get it to work again.
that's what it was. It was Bomber Mine.
What?
Bomber Mine.
I don't know what that is.
Basically, it's a massively multiplayer Bomberman.
Well, I've never heard of it.
Okay, you showed it to me.
Nope.
Yes, you did. And, it's basically Bomberman and just massive amounts. It's still online. I'm playing it right now. I'm gonna link this in the description, and it's like old school 2D Bomberman, and I suck at Bomberman, and you will not know how much you suck at Bomberman until you play this with everyone else, and you get killed like every 5 seconds.
Well then. So yeah, bye everyone, and hopefully in the next podcast we will have something more concrete to talk about.
Or not, because that's how we roll. Either way, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you later.